The mansion at the edge of the village was not built to last, yet it endures. Locals call it the Bellmour House, though most refuse to even look its way. Its broken windows stare like hollow eyes, and its doors hang open as though the house itself is breathing. Children grow up warned never to play near it, and travelers are told to turn back before the road bends toward its gates. The fear began decades ago. One stormy night, the Bellmour family vanished. Neighbors claimed they heard screams echoing across the valley, yet when they entered the house, not a single person remained. Dinner still steamed on the table. A clock ticked loudly in the hall, and carved into the dining room wall with something that looked like dried blood were the words, "Souls taken." From that night onward, the house changed. Lamps flickered when no one touched them. Curtains shifted in rooms with no breeze. Villagers swore they saw faces in the windows, faces that were not the Bellmours, but strangers. Strangers who looked terrified. Over the years, people disappeared. A farmer chasing his lost goat. Two lovers daring each other to enter. A child who swore he heard his mother's voice calling from inside, even though she stood beside him at the gate. None returned. The few who escaped told the same story. Inside whispers follow you. At first faint like wind through the cracks, then louder, closer, until they're in your ear, speaking your name. They sound like people you love, begging you to follow. If you listen, the whispers lead you deeper, up the stairs, into the basement, or toward mirrors that don't reflect your body at all. Only your coffin, waiting. The last known visitor was a traveler named Daniel. He came with nothing but a camera and the boldness of someone who didn't believe in curses. He laughed when the villagers begged him not to stay past midnight. He said he wanted to prove the legend wrong. His footage told a different story. In the first hour, he joked nervously as the floorboards groaned under his steps. By the second, his jokes stopped. He recorded shadows sliding across walls where no light touched. His breathing grew shaky as he whispered, "I keep hearing someone behind me." At midnight, the house fell silent. His flashlight cut out. The camera lens caught only the glow of his trembling hands and the darkness behind him. Then, faintly, a child's voice whispered, "Daniel." The camera shook violently. He begged for the door to open, but the house groaned like it was alive, sealing him inside. Dozens of pale hands rose from the shadows, stitched mouths opening as if to scream. But no sound escaped. The last thing recorded was Daniel's face, twisted in horror, before the hands dragged him away. When villagers found the camera on the doorstep days later, its battery was dead, yet the screen flickered with the faces of those who had disappeared over the years, eyes wide, mouths stitched shut, pressed against the glass as if trapped inside. Daniel was never found. His name later appeared carved into the doorframe, letters jagged and raw, as though written from the inside. Now the house waits, patient and hungry. They say when the wind is still, you can hear the whispers carried from its broken windows. If you hear your name, do not answer, do not look back, because once the Bellmour House calls to you, it already owns your soul. Now the Bellmour House waits, silent, patient, watching. They say the curse feeds on names. Every 50 years another soul is claimed. The windows glow faintly at night as though the lost are pressed against the glass, their stitched mouths moving in silence. Some villagers whisper that the house is growing, that every soul taken becomes a part of it. The walls expand, the shadows deepen, and the whispers grow louder. Soon, they say, the house won't be bound to its crumbling frame. It will spread through the woods, across the valley, into the village itself. And when the house moves, it will not crawl on bricks or wood. It will crawl on the hands of the damned, dragging itself closer to the living. Already, travelers report strange knocks on their doors at night. 3 soft raps, followed by silence. Some who open the door see nothing. Others swear they see the faint outline of a house at the far end of the road, where no house should be. The villagers know the truth. Bellmour House is no longer waiting for you to step inside. It is learning how to step outside. And when it does, the whole world will become its halls. The first proof was the Miller farm. One morning, the fence posts that bordered the northern field were no longer wood, but a continuous, seamless wall of the house's signature dark paneling. The field itself was now a vast, dusty ballroom, the scarecrow frozen mid-waltz with a silent, stitched mouth partner. The house wasn't just appearing at the end of the road anymore, it was replacing the road. Now the whispers don't just call from the woods, they come from the village well, from the hearth, from under your own bed. They speak your name with the voice of someone you buried years ago. We don't bar our doors against the knocks anymore. It's too late for that. We just sit in the dark, listening to the slow, grinding drag of foundation stones moving through the earth beneath our homes. We are waiting. We are waiting for the moment our front door doesn't open to the morning sun, but to an endless dark hallway. We are waiting for the walls of our world to become its walls. The house has learned how to step outside, and now it is simply redecorating.